1.5. There we go.
All right.
Okay. Oh, yay. Moray Towers. Everybody's favorite.
Mm.
Moray Splat Zones. Great. Yeah, fantastic. I will start a pairs lobby.
Yeah, let's do it.
I will put a cat on screen.
I'm pretty sure I know what the password is already, but pairs. Wait a second. Okay, now I can do it. All right. Oh. Unable to join.
Oh. Try it one more time, and if it doesn't work a second time, then we'll try something else.
Oh, I think I put the password in wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all. I think that was it.
So maybe you didn't know the password.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I'll blame this on my dyslexia today.
Okay.
That'll be the big culprit.
Reasonable.
All right.
Aha! And there is one of those accounts that we ban. That is the accounts by this particular name are associated with being used in hate raids.
Hey, Air Sign. So I have not played like pairs or like duos before.
So the way, yeah, it was the Hoss one air sign. Hi, Cookie Dough. So it's exactly the same concept as quads, just with only 2 people, and it'll pair us up with another pair, and then us 2 and them 2 will be on a 4-player team.
Okay, cool.
So we get our score, you know, independently from the other 2, because those other 2 are going to be swapping out every round, but...
I see. But it's still like a 4v4. Same thing. I see. Very cool. All right. I'm gonna do my best.
Same. At least the best that I'm gonna do wearing swim speed farming gear. Okay, one of these is main power up, but close enough. All right. Cool, we got one of them down. There's another one right on top of me. That's nice. Good job, Blobber player. And we should be able to take that. I'm gonna jump in. They have 2 everything they have is extremely short range, so our Blobber should have a field day if they have to drop down into mid. It's just the bucket who is on their plat. I'm gonna rush them now.
Do it.
Right on the back wall. I'm being pushed from somebody else. Yeah, it was bad on my part. I should have moved faster. 3 on their plat. They're gonna push. They might be able to take zone here.
I got one.
All right. All right. That's fine. Because we still have control, and we win this fight.
Ooh, traded.
Nice trade.
Blah, 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 blah.
Got 2. There's one going in the top right. Traded with that bucket. There's one coming from their snipe. Our sploosh is chasing him. Nice.
Nice. 2 more coming down.
I'm so glad
down.
that landed after, or before I landed. There we go.
I got hit by that splashdown.
I wasn't able to get that many shots down, but we finished it off. Bloblobber is doing a great job of following up when we attack. Saved the jump. Our sploosh is squid bagging.
No. How rude.
I was just shooting at them at the end there. Hi, Smidge. Hi, Banky.
That was good. Hello.
All right, this is looking good. That's 4 people already who have spoken in chat who would probably play with us, given the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna need that.
I just noticed one of the squids has like a witch hat. I really want that.
That was a Splatfest for Halloween, where those went out. So I'm not sure how available those are. You might be able to order them off people, though.
Is there trading, like for clothes?
Not trading. What you do is you see it on somebody in Inkopolis Square, and you order it from merch, and then question mark, shady things happen. He shows up with it with the chunks scrubbed, and you buy it off him afterward. I'm not sure if the implication is that he just like found that person, beat them up, and stole it from them. That's actually possible. It's a little, I don't know, but you're able to get it from him that way. And anybody you play with will show up in your Inkopolis Square. So if you saw something you liked, you could just like dip out of the game immediately and go and find it. Devi has that hat too, so if you want it, you could definitely get it from her. I don't remember if I have it or not.
It's a dope hat. It's a very cool hat. It's a lot better. I'll buy stuff just because it has like the like 3 chunks that are like
3
kind
slots
of like
available,
question marked out. Yeah, and I'll just kind of like level them up. I need to watch the videos because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but yeah.
Yeah, I can walk you through that whenever you want. But yes, AirSign, we will definitely be needing another PB. We have 2 different players that we need to get footage from. One of whom we're going to be VOD reviewing today. That's Xeon, and then the other one will be VOD reviewing next week. When I'm playing, hearing people who are nowhere near the objective. Yeah, that'll just kind of happen, and even sometimes in X ranks that'll just happen. Like, there's a particular playstyle that tends to show up a lot in X rank where people will just get the Neo Splushamatic and literally be on the opposite end of the map from where anything is happening, just painting for missiles. And they'll spam missiles. They'll get like 15 missiles in one match, but they won't actually splat anybody because all they're doing is shooting missiles from the other side of the map, and it's not enough help to justify what they're doing. Two hours of solo clams made no progress whatsoever. Sounds about right. Happens all the time. At least you haven't lost progress, you know? That's the way I look at it. Okay, I got 2. Trying to get the other side painted, but there's a double zones map. How are you not gone? Okay, darn. I needed to get that in 2 shots, and it took me 3.
Oh! I got him!
Nice.
Got him before they could splash down.
Splashdown cancels are sick.
I feel very powerful after that. Just caught an arrow mid-flight.
Yeah, that's a really good way to Really good comparison. Okay, great Booyah Bomb. Really helping your team out there. One gonna drop on zone here, right side.
Oh, almost traded.
Yep, they tried to roll me. That's not a thing you get to do.
Not allowed.
Ah!
Access denied.
Well, at least I got the cap for another couple seconds. We might be able to just rush this and, yeah, we definitely got to pick. We need to go in and get the zone, and then we win.
Oh.
There we go, that's it. Oh, and we wiped them too. Very nice.
Dang.
Welcome, Doovie.
Hey. Hey, Debbie.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With Xeon, that'd be 7. Yeah, that actually would be enough if all the people I've seen in chat who play would be interested in doing the PB.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do one more, just to give people a chance to trickle in, but after that, it'd be good to get that PB going.
Cookie dough, how else am I supposed to catch that arrow? Has to be in the knee. What else are knees good for?
What do we look like, adventurers?
Yeah, that is exactly right. We're just squids. No adventuring here. Only squids and chickens.
My lifestyle has only marginally changed from quarantine, all right? We're not... we're not... It's not like that.
Yeah.
Used to be adventurers.
Whack.
But now you're squids. Okay, that's a reasonable argument.
It was the arrow. It's a squid arrow.
I don't know, there's insufficient scar tissue in my knee to convince me that that is what has happened, but... Okay, they've got a double back line. We've got a little bit more balance to comp, but we'll have to be taking cover as we go in, because there's both a Hydra and an E-Leader, and they're the two longest ranged weapons in the entire game. Cool, I got 2 of them. Charger has dropped down and jumped out. Hydra down. E-Leader weak, and I'm down. Sploosh coming from their plat. Splashing down probably. Yep.
Yep. Oh, no.
What was that? Where did that come
Oh,
from?
dang, that was a good shot. I'm down.
Oh, hi. There was a splash to the right. They just kind of ran at me. They're on the pillar on the right.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, no one was with you in there, it looks like.
Ah,
They just kind of stayed back.
Smart move.
Oh, that's a curling bomb that came from down there. Okay. Okay, we got the Hydra. There's one trying to come up on the top right. I'm going to go in after him. Got him. Bomb rush is down. We should be able to take zone. Yep, there it is. And the splashdown is on zone. One right fan jumped out. Still one left side. And then Hydra, I think it is. Yeah.
Ah!
Got one. I have no idea where I was. And now I might die. Yep. It's a little bit greedy going for zone there. We didn't have support.
Oh, that was not smart.
Check, 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 check.
Oh, oh.
There we
Are
go.
you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, looks like stream's back. Yeah, that was kind of cut out for a second.
Yeah, the soundboard crashed again. Seems like it's a thing that's just happening regularly. Ah, one got me.
Yeah, I shouldn't have rushed in.
They're bomb
They're
rushing.
guarding it
Ooh.
really well. There's 3 of them in
Okay,
there
this
right
is
now.
going to be tricky because we really need to take it on this push.
Yeah.
We only have about 10 seconds to set that up. I'm going to go off to the left here. Start getting their attention. I'm down. That's going to be
Dang
game.
it, I'm down. Yeah. Dang. Stream's back, everyone.
I'm going to need to look into that and figure out a better solution because, I mean, this software has been helpful in the past, but it has caused nothing but problems lately. So I might just end up getting rid of it. That was an inopportune time for that to happen.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's go and get some PBs going, because we need to record for Xeon. We also need to record for Jimmy Duke. Jimmy Duke Street? I don't know if it's a street. But, alright. The password is going to be 2s. And there's my friend code in case anybody needs it.
Right.
So I'm going to go into DMs and see what the players would like me to record for them. Any map modes.
Get on in here, cookie dough. Jim, I just realized you're level 9. Is this like a different account?
No, so you see the star next to the number?
Oh. Oh. Is that like you get level 99 and then you just like...
Yeah, that means you've prestiged.
Oh.
And it doesn't give you a new star every time you do it. So I've actually prestiged 3 times, but it'll only tell you that I've done it at least once.
Dang. Dang. That's a lot of Squid Game.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Cebolando? Cebolando. Hello. JimmyDuke.
Cebolado na balada. I don't know what that means. Hopefully that's nothing obscene, but welcome.
Cebola. Nice.
All right.
Welcome.
Got some friend requests, potentially plural. All right, there's JimmyDuke.
Yeah, feel free to join us in this game if you have Squid Game.
Wait, what's going on? Is this private battles?
Yeah, this is going to be a private battle where we'll do a recording session for both JimmyDuke and Zeon.
Yeah.
I want to play Squid Game.
And there's another friend request.
Me. I'm the Squid Gamer.
The only Squid Gamer.
Cepola. Oh, whoops. I need to delete someone. And who's getting deleted? No, I'm not deleting Safra. Might delete Coco though. I haven't played with them in.
Wait, the password's different?
It's all
it is.
2s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Curses. Now, by process of elimination, they've figured out that one of those is not the password that we use.
Dang it.
Oh no!
We're giving ourselves away.
It's away like that.
With so few combinations, surely we'll be sniped eventually.
Oh, it's only a matter of time now.
Or the big brain play was that our password actually is that.
Dang it!
And
Why'd you
now-
have to go and no?
And now everyone will be really confused when they try to join. Perfect.
I'm just going around deleting people so that I have room for all the friend requests.
You're just so popular.
If you want to be my squid friend. Alrighty. Sent as well, but seems it'll be full, so we'll play next time. I have no idea if it's going to be full.
Maybe.
We'll find out in a couple seconds here.
Yeah, we still got 2 spots. So I think we need one more, don't we? So you can spectate.
Well, let's find out, because I just accepted like 3 friend requests. Okay, so we've got 8 in here right now, so we will definitely need at least one more. Cookie LMA dough. Someone's playing Pokemon Unite and their tag is just Hex. Sigh.
Hola.
JimmyDuke DM'd me asking how many times I've prestiged. I've prestiged 3 times. So this is level 306, I think.
Jeez.
Because
Level 9, 309.
you go up to you go up to level 99 and then you go straight to 1.
Oh.
So you lose 1 every time you prestige. It's not actually 100.
Dang.
And you don't start at 0 either, so.
That's a lot of levels. Shenanigans. There's always shenanigans with this stream.
All right, well, we've got a full lobby now. We do have JimmyDuke in here. Cool. LOL stands for lots of levels.
Ha.
Exactly. Okay. So let's see. JimmyDuke is asking for tower control. The other thing is, Zeon has not responded so far here. So we'll have to see if Xeon comes around. We might just end up recording theirs later on. If they don't show, though, we could potentially do Jimmy Dukes this week instead. Just swap their place with Xeon's. So we'll
Sorry,
play
I
that by
forgot to
ear.
reply. I'm Xeon. I was just trying to sneak in a VOD review.
Okay. We're gonna go and
Be really funny if they were a tri-slash player.
we're just gonna go and take away some of the dumb ones that we don't want to play. I'm making some harsh judgments here, but we don't need to play Black Belly Tower. I'm sorry, it doesn't need to.
Are you sure?
Doesn't need to happen. Okay. The rest are fairly reasonable.
I would like a VOD review for my Splatoon.
Did I get rid of
story
Triggerfish?
mode.
Triggerfish Tower's
You
fine. You know, Tower Triggerfish is fine. I think that is actually a pretty good map mode. Okay. So we're going to do that. And then I'll just
Do we
kind
need
of
one more to spectate?
split people. Yeah, we'll have one more person spectating, but I'll probably do multiple rounds here. That was a mistake. Let's see. We're gonna have Devi. We should probably have like.
Is there an equivalent of no items FD on on Splatoon?
Mako Mart literally any mode.
Mako Mart Splat Zones.
Yeah, Mako Zones is probably what people would say.
Mako Zones is like the most lo-fi map mode. It's like it's just the most regular Squid game you could play.
I don't know if these teams are fair or not. I have no idea.
Well,
do
we'll figure it out
do you
once
mind
we all
spectating, Avery?
get destroyed.
I do not mind. Not at all.
We'll
Put
rotate
the
out.
chickens
but
away.
just trying to get a feel for
Put
where
the
everybody's
chickens
at.
away.
So we'll have a couple of matches that we'll play here for Jimmy's sake. Jimmy wanted a match to warm up with, and I have no idea if these teams are balanced or not, so we can probably make some adjustments after the fact.
Man, I could switch to a long-ranged weapon, but then I'd be playing against Debbie. I don't know about that. Something tells me that doesn't go well for me. What's the definition of fair in Splatoon?
Generally, for a map to be considered a pretty good map, you want multiple ways out of spawn. You don't want a map where it's really easy to spawn camp. Because then, against a good team, if you make one mistake in neutral, they can punish you so hard that they just win the game in, 40 seconds. And that's pretty lame, and also creates more volatility in results, makes it so that the best team is less likely to always win. So generally you want a bit of a wider map with a lot of ways out, no major positions that are just kind of choke points. Like on Black Belly Tower, trying to get the tower to stop between the second and third checkpoint is just plain too hard. Like, that defense is really bad. So you also don't want a map that favors one weapon type over another. So, for example, Albacore is known for being very backline favored, and you have to kind of adapt your comp to that. Whereas someplace like Mako, you can run basically whatever you want. Alrighty. So Jimmy Duke we've got on the CDS over here.
Oh, the rain.
I'm like trying to turn the controller as if it's my own camera. See, like, oh, what's over there? I want to see what's over there. Yes or no? Backlines don't usually 1v1 each other. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Maybe I need to scroll
It was something
up
I said earlier.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I do actually like this map a lot. I think that there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with, like, the weapons that I play. So, like, on especially splat zones on this map, missiles are busted for pushing the zone. You kind of just pop them from the right side and then push from right to left, and they just have to run away. So I like running that sort of thing. It's a good K-Pro map because it's got, you know, the range to deal with some of these wide open spaces and still get picks. Okay. I know Devi's going to have something to say about that interaction just now.
Oh, I missed.
Okay. We can probably swing that. Let's see what that actually wants. Reaches for a phone. Okay. Splatoon 2.inc. Map schedules. I think it shows what the last ones were. Oh no, it actually doesn't. I don't know how I can look that up, actually. Looks like yellow team has cleaned it up here. Not necessarily yellow. For those who don't know, I have it on color lock mode for green screen purposes so that it doesn't end up reflecting green back at my face and messing up the green screen image.
Had a hard time getting in range.
That would be Devi's doing.
Okay. Yeah, Devi was destroying me. Devi had sights on me like maybe 70% of that game.
I'm gonna look up really quickly what the ranks were at the end of that. Just take a quick. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, Devi, I wasn't exactly putting up memorable opposition to you, so I wouldn't expect you to remember. Yeah, it was the Rapid.
Jimmy Duke, you said map preference would be what was in the rotation last. I don't have an easy way of figuring out what the rotation was last. So if someone could chime in and let me know what that was, I'd be happy to put that up for you.
Also, Keppel says that they could spec for the round and still be.
Okay, so you'll
leave a little.
they'll need to spec. I have to leave a little. Okay, yeah, sure. Kept shaking, but it was fun. Yeah, everybody gets some nerves at first.
I think I really struggle at mid-range. When I have like a long-range weapon and I have
Sturgeon.
like a really close-range weapon, I feel like I intuitively understand how to play better.
Thank you for that, air sign.
Rushing in.
Okay, so.
Here, you can swap me out with Avery.
Well, I think Capola.
Avery's
gonna...
Avery's going in for Sepola, yes. So, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap teams around pretty significantly. Put Jimmy and air sign and splash together. It's actually not a bad comp at all. Let's put Synchrony on this team and see how this goes. Let me just double check the rest of that there.
Yeah, I guess we do, don't we, Devi?
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good.
I can think of like 3 Sturgeon VOD reviews that we've done, just off the top of my head.
All right. Yeah, Port and Sturgeon were 2 of the maps, and Tower Port is gross. And just completely dominated by Stingray and missiles, so we're going to go with this one.
Just be not good at the game, air sign.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, get worse, scrub. I mean, get worse, pro.
Pro? Ah, you're too much of a pro.
Pro, parentheses, derogatory.
Simply play with your controller upside down and perhaps we'll allow it.
That's right.
If you play with a Wii steering wheel, perhaps.
Use a DDR mat.
That'd be fun. Use the Ring Fit controller.
Oh god.
Am I still in midpoint? I don't know if I've played enough in midpoint to be in midpoint still. I'll have to look into that. All right, here we go. Take a quick look at this. And it's gonna be
I forgot that's not paintable.
You guys don't play Splatoon with a DDR pad?
What?
I don't have a DDR pad is the problem.
I thought that was the competitive standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play a little fast and loose with my equipment. I love how, given pro derogatory, the pro controller is like the equivalent of the noob controller. Devi looking pretty good right now, and as I say that,
That's
she immediately gets taken down.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Ooh. Oh.
Okay,
All right.
we're safe. We're safe.
If you're getting
No, we're not.
trade.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Ooh. Devi's KA number rapidly climbing. At this point, I'm trying to commentators curse her so that we have a longer game here. There we go. It worked.
Yeah, the jump accuracy is not quite what I needed there.
Oh yeah, jump accuracy on a blaster is hilarious.
It's so hard to get used to because I'm used to buckets.
Ah! I don't know where I was going.
Torpedoes are so fun. It's the only reason I like this weapon. Oh, get me out! No, Cookie!
We saw that in real time.
Cookie has committed war crimes against me. That was like the optimal angle to do that, because there was no way I could look up that far.
Was that a missile that got you, Avery?
No, I think it was the bomb. It was either
Oh,
the
okay.
bomb or like the actual weapon.
So it was a splat
It's
bomb.
really good.
What?
I think it was, yeah.
No!
Oh, I need to get better with this.
Yeah, I need to get
I
better.
do gotta say, the brush is very fun. I'm having a good time. I'm not doing well, but it's fun.
It's really funny how you just kind of go whap, 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 slap, 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 slap.
Slap, slap, slap.
You beat the devil out of it, as Bob Ross would say.
That's right. I think that's why I like it so much. Ah! Oh! What? I'm so surprised that bomb got me.
It might be that you were damaged
I got-
before.
I got
was.
blown away there.
I 100% was damaged before.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been knocked back like 10 feet as a baller mid-explosion. So that was a new experience.
Yeah, the strat is to throw a bomb at it to push it away from you. And also help shred it.
Oh!
I could not get away from the pain.
Debbie needs a nerf.
Let's see, who's our shot player here?
I booped someone. I booped Airsign, I think.
I'm hearing a bird, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be me. Yeah, I think it's my window.
You just got a bird serenading you outside your window?
No, it's my chickens. That's what it is. It's my actual chickens that live outside behind me.
Woo-hoo! The 2-for-1.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a good shot right there. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
tweet, tweet, tweet. Yeah, that's me.
I wish I could armor Devi to death.
Jeez, Debbie. Yeah, I definitely agree, Debbie.
Oh my god. 8.
Yep.
I would say it's probably one of the like main things people struggle with.
That was a pretty good game to look at for us. So what I'll do here is I will go into the VOD review on Joshzilla because Josh has submitted his video already. And then if Xeon doesn't show up by then we'll just go into Jimmy Duke's VOD review right away. So that's the plan. So thank you all for being a part of our recording session. Now we're going to scooch things over to the VOD review portion of the festivities. Scooch things to the festivities. You gotta love the mixed metaphors. Okay. So that should be all set. I'm gonna really quickly get Joshzilla into the voice chat if they're available. Joshzilla, head into the waiting room channel on the Bravous community Discord. presuming that they are available here. And I will DM them that on Discord as well. Okay. Did pretty okay at the beginning, and then it kind of sucked. Well, try to think about it a little bit more specifically than that. Try to be, you know, noticing patterns in what is sucking or whatever. Because just being like, well, I did good and then I sucked. You're not gonna help yourself too much from that. Don't beat yourself down. Jimmy, we're done with the PB. We just did one for warm-up and then one that we recorded for you. You know what? Could just hop into JimmyDukeStr right now since they are responding and I don't see Josh anywhere. So let's pop that open. So we're gonna watch our stream on our stream.
Yay!
Okay, and that was actually almost perfectly rewound for us, and I screwed it up. Okay, here we go. Streamception over. And then, Jimmy, if you want to jump into waiting room, we can drag you up into the voice chat here. Not available to talk. I'll watch the commentary later. Okay, so Josh will need to watch it later anyway. Might as well get Jimmy in here while he's available. Jimmy, you there? I'm checking chat to see if there's anything else there. Analysis, Discord. Yeah, I'd be happy to help you out with that, or even do a VOD review with you if you wanted. Ooh, and Devi made a call out. That helped. Nice. Learning how to notice those this ways, exactly. All right, well, Jimmy's being slow and I'm impatient, so we are going to do Josh's first, and then we'll go from there. All right, that is not the correct one, though. Where did my screen go? Huh. Oh, that's where it is. Okay. Boom. Okay. So this is Joshzilla submitted a Clam Blitz match on Muscle Forge. They're playing the Tri-Slosher here. Let me know if the... I'll actually turn the sound down because the game sound is... It's got some like weird echo to it. So it's going to be a little bit on the quiet side, but I'll try and fill that with my words. One thing I wanted to do really quickly before I started this is actually go into the game here and check on something to see what I think of the technique that he's using for most of his combat. I just need to find a Tri-Slosher. It has been a long time since I played this weapon. Okay, So we see a lot of burst bomb combos, and something I wanted to test out. Okay, so that's that fast. So I'm seeing what's the fastest way to get lethal damage with the Tri-Slosher. So this is the double slosh. That kind of speed. And then burst bomb into the slosh seems like the fastest, because you can kind of cancel the end lag into the slosh. And then it seems like it's slowest to slosh and then burst bomb, because it seems like you have to go through the entire slosh animation before you can switch over to the burst bomb. So it looks like ideally you're going burst bomb slosh. Oh, that was weird. Maybe I missed the burst bomb. Second choice would be double slosh, and then you basically never want to do that unless they're like... So the one case where you would want to go slosh and then burst bomb is if in the time that it took you to hit the first slosh, they then moved out of your range. And so the second slosh is going to miss, and you have to finish it with the burst bomb. The other thing to consider here is that burst bombs, you need some amount of accuracy to hit those. So like if I get an indirect, a 35 damage one, and then do a slosh, that's not going to splat. So if you're going to try for the burst bomb combo, you need to be hitting directs with it, which is significantly more aim intensive than going for a double slosh. Like you're talking about that versus that and that. You've got a lot more room for error in this width than you do in the width it takes to direct with a burst bomb. So that's something to keep in mind, and we'll be talking about that as we get into the match here, deciding when it was a good time to use a burst bomb, when you probably prefer to use something else. All right. Just got to respond to something really quickly. All right, so let's get into this. Tri-Slosher. So I don't necessarily disagree with going down in this direction, because up here to the left on the bridge, you're really exposed, and they've got an E-leader. So an E-leader is going to be looking out from somewhere, probably in the middle, maybe on the far left, rarely on the right, because you just don't have as many vantage points from there. So coming down here, you've got a lot of cover, and that's a good place to just not get sniped right off the bat. I should point out the comps here are really weird. You've got an E-leader, and even the second longest ranged weapon on the team, the Squiffer, is still longer than anything else on our team here. We've got double brush, which you almost never see, because the brush is typically a distraction weapon that enables the other members of the team to do something else while the brush is off on its own. So two players off on their own, they're just kind of like splitting up the team, and it's going to make things really difficult for those two players to position. And then we've got two relatively short-range weapons. The Tri-Slosher is actually the longest ranged main weapon, I believe, except for maybe the Octobrush. Yes?
Do you need to change the screen to the actual video, or is it supposed to be
I do. That is my bad. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you, Doovie. Okay. So I should back up for a second and show where I was pointing earlier. So he's not dropping down He's dropping down instead of going up on the bridge, because your E-leader is probably going to be positioned up here somewhere, rarely on the right over here, usually up in this direction, because they can see way over mid, and they have some angles on stuff on either side. So it's a really powerful position. You can probably anticipate they're going to be there. You definitely need to be checking the map at the beginning of the game. This is something that I talk about with a lot of different people, but I have no idea, based on what I can see in this game right now, whether somebody's going to be on the right-hand side here. I can't see any enemy ink. I still can't see any enemy ink. All I can do is basically guess where I'm anticipating they're going to spawn from. Now, you might have been able to see a little bit more during the rollout. Let's see if we can take a look up over the top, because you have a pretty good vantage point here to see out across the entire map. Even then, we saw like a little bit of purple over here, but it's not much to work on. Yeah, so it's a combination of lack of opening the map and having your camera tilted right down at your feet, not being like looking up a little bit, looking around. I have no information on which to base any decisions right now. I have no idea whether this is a good move or not, and neither do you, most likely, just because you don't have that information either on your screen. You're probably just like hoping that this pays off. So really, with any kind of rollout, you need the information of what's going on the map ahead of time. You know that the E-leader or the charger was up here. You know that your teammate got picked by something. Might have been a charger, might not have. Hard to say. But so it's 3v4 right now, and you're very split from your teammates. Also, if the opponent is checking map, which they're probably not going to, but if they were to check map, they would see their green splotches here and be like, ooh, I should be careful around here, because they've got things like a tri-slosher and a brush that want to shark places. So your charger actually either saw that developing or did check the map and saw it, so you're spotted out. Like, if they're shooting over in this direction, that shows that they are at least aware that there's paint down here, and they're trying to cut you off from being able to flank in behind them. So they know you're here. You probably just want to move, because you have no vantage point from which to challenge them. Even this block, you would have to paint that to jump up on top of it, and by the time you get up over the next ledge and maybe get a chance to throw a burst bomb up at this guy, they've already got a beat on you. So you kind of just need to back up, especially with the lack of team support right now, and with someone flanking in this direction. Okay, so this fight you might actually be able to take, because this guy doesn't have an angle on you from here, since you've got this wall here for cover. So this is a 1v1, and if you're in range, you are a tri-slosher, you should win 1v1s. This guy, it looks like, is facing the opposite direction. They're not coming towards you, thankfully. So what you could do in that situation is just swim literally right up next to them, slosh, slosh. Don't give them a chance to really react. Don't give yourself harder shots to hit. You go for a burst bomb. I think from there you actually could have just hit them with the slosher, and that might have painted a little bit more around them to prevent their movement back up. So at this point, you're kind of stuck. As the tri-slosher, you never want to throw out more than 2 sloshes, because you should basically never miss your first, and by the time you're throwing out even a second one, they're probably getting their aim down on you pretty quickly. So at this point, if after the first slosh misses, I'd want to be moving away, especially since I can see this laser starting to aim at me. This E-leader ends up making some pretty good plays in this game. They kind of have some decent awareness. They're hitting their shots. They're doing a pretty good job. I'll do a quick chat check. All right. Here we go. All right, so meantime, your teammates have been able to take 2 of them out. You don't have mid control yet. There's a lot of paint in the middle here. But they're going to start trying to hunt down these power clams. Now, the direction that you go out puts you pretty far away from your teammates here. So unless you think that someone's going to be pushed from mid down to the right side here, you're not really in a position to help your teammates much. And you're also not in a position to be able to see very much. Okay, you should be able to take out this, and I mean, the hammer will as well. So good job there. Pushing across here is a little risky, because for one thing, you're pushing through rain, so you're going to show up here damaged. For another thing, this entire thing is purple, and yeah, you've got teammates behind you, but remember, you're the longest ranged weapon in this entire team. If not for the main weapon, because the Octobrush might edge you out there, for the burst bomb. So anybody who's behind you is going to have worse range than you do. So if something like the T-Tech pops out of here, they only need to tap 2 shots from their max range, and then they can back up, and your teammates can't do anything about it. So this push right here is really dangerous, and you also don't necessarily know where the E-Leader is. Okay, now you know where the E-Leader is, and they should have gotten out of there a long time ago. So this is bad awareness on their part. That I do agree with, the burst bomb use into the second slosh. That's the faster way to do it. They weren't moving. They weren't going to dodge. Against a slightly stronger player, they might have started moving after you hit the burst bomb, but the slosh would still probably work. So good job there. Really, the play for them was not to be anywhere near that spot. All right, so right now you have 0 clams. This isn't a bad thing to do necessarily, because this way you're a little bit more stealthy. You might be able to get a pick on some people coming in. And with the rest of their team mostly wiped, you can expect that your team should probably be getting some clams and be pushing forward. So it's not necessarily your top priority to be grabbing clams right now, but you know, the more you have, the better. I would maybe at least be checking down here, seeing if they've got any clams on their plat. Nice, you're able to get another pick. And that's not a bad trade either. Didn't really see where they came from. We see that there's some shots going down from the left. Could we have seen any of that developing? We know that they're up right now. Okay, they get splatted. Oh, I think it's the end zap that gets you, actually. So the end zap is up. The end zap's right behind you. Okay, so they must have come down from the left, and because you weren't looking left at all, you just didn't notice that. Map check also might have been able to help you with that. If any additional paint was going down on this left side, you probably would have seen the end zap coming. You do get the trade, but of course, better to maintain your hold there, especially now that the E-Leader's back in position, because how in the world does... Oh, is Splash? Wait, is this Splash in your match here? Were you playing twins or something? I literally just noticed that. Maybe you said that in the description here, but I didn't even notice. But yeah,
they were playing. They were playing like duos.
Gotcha. So Splash was in a tough spot at that point because they're facing an E-Leader. They don't have any paint in front of them to work with, and the E-Leader just took you out. So it's like, okay, well, I have this clam, but what can I do with it? Not really much. There is something to be said for only having 1 power clam at a time. Just the vision that it gives the enemy team is excessive. In fact, on a coordinated team, you're more often going to see people only pick up 9 clams, and then, you know, if everybody runs to the basket and 2 people have 9 clams, one of them just throws a clam to the other, and then they've got a power. So that's kind of the play. You only make the clam once you're up close to the basket so that you're not giving yourself away. Having 2 power clams active right now, I don't think you go to save this, and I think I'm very happy that you don't. So that is wise. I have no idea how the second slosh doesn't end up hitting the guy. That was kind of wild to me that didn't 1-shot, or 2-shot. But your teammate down here is able to finish it. So you know that there's someone up above you. For one thing, you just saw the laser there. For another thing, I think you saw it earlier. So this spot right here is really dangerous. You don't want to stay there for too long. Thankfully, you get behind cover before they have a shot charged. I probably wouldn't have pushed up until they fired that shot and then aggressed as soon as that happened. But good job teaming up with your other teammate here, being able to combo that burst bomb into their damage. Now there's someone behind you. Dropping down isn't going to make their shots any harder because they just aim down. They don't have to like keep moving at you to keep hitting their shots. I probably would have actually kept running forward there. When you're in the air and falling, I talk about this in the video on strafing, your trajectory is really predictable. It's very easy to tell exactly where you're going to land and exactly where you're going to be. Anybody who's done any training with the moving targets in the practice room is going to be able to hit that. So your better chance here is actually to try and keep running away and get out of their range, than it is to drop down here and potentially give them height advantage over you. It also gets you closer to the basket so that you can score whatever clams you've picked up. I don't think you have any, actually. And that's a criticism I would probably give you, that you're just not picking up clams. It doesn't seem like there are very many times in this game where you're even looking for the clams. I don't know how they ended up with 2 people down here and nobody at the basket. That's really terrible positioning on their part, and you should abuse the heck out of that by not dropping on them and just attacking them from above. Like, you can hit both of those shots that you hit from up on the ledge and take away their ability to shoot you back by just ducking back around the ledge again. I don't know what this T-Tech is doing. They're like shooting in the exact opposite direction of you, even after their teammate went down. They probably should have splatted you for what you did to their teammate. All right. This is... So, let's look at this for a second. First of all, the basket is definitely going to close unless this teammate can, like, literally sprint up there with the brush and throw some more in. You don't have any clams. You have no reason to be pushing any higher once this guy goes down. You might be able to pick up a clam and throw it. No, you don't have the time. At this point, you kind of need to be backing up because you know there are 2 people up here. You don't have paint in front of you. Challenging these guys, they definitely shouldn't have traded with you there. They should have just backed up and been able to take an easy shot on you. So, the E-Leader does punish. The E-Leader did the right thing there. The Squiffer isn't abusing their range at all, which is weird because, like, if they didn't know what weapon you were using, that would be one thing. But they know that they outranged literally your entire team. So I don't know why they're not trying to back up further from that. Or at least, like, right side PQ. They could have done that. Okay, nice. You pick up some clams here. Not all of them. You probably could have just grabbed the other one. You never know when that extra one's going to matter. There's some clams you passed up in mid that you probably could have grabbed because the others were distracted. I like this idea. The E-Leader totally should have seen that from a mile away, though. Maybe it's a scoped E-Leader? Is that scoped? I can't tell. I don't think it's scoped. Yeah, there's no excuse for the E-Leader not to see this big neon green line in front of them. And with a charge ready, they should have snapped to you and taken you out from there. But because they didn't, you're able to hit that. Now, there you use the burst bomb, and there the burst bomb combo misses. Against, you know, a really strong player, you might, you know, throw that burst bomb, and then they're like, oh crap, someone's shooting at me. And since it hit the wall, it doesn't paint their feet at all. They just swim away and they survive. So they tunnel a little bit on the shot that they're trying to take. If they back up, you know, if I try to do this to Devi and I miss that burst bomb, Devi gets away 100% of the time. So that was a mistake on their part. And from there, if this is like a coordinated team, if you're doing callouts or something, they might actually be able to call a teammate over to meet you before you come up. So you want to, you know, use this cover a little bit carefully. But right now, they're down for the most part. You're able to get those other clams in. There were some clams over here. It looks like you're letting your teammate take care of those while you try and spawn camp. Ooh. Slow reaction to the splat bomb here. So the splat bomb goes down right there. If you just run forward, you're fine. I think you committed to throwing the armor out. Armor's not ever going to protect you from a bomb. The bomb is going to explode. Even like a suction bomb is probably going to explode faster than it takes the armor to come out. The only defense you have against the bomb is movement or cover. So as soon as one goes down, everything else leaves your brain. Where am I moving? Where am I finding cover? So your team's basically wiped there, but that was a really strong push. You got down to 20. Never a place to complain about being. I probably shouldn't say never there, but... Okay, nice. So you notice that there's someone down there, probably because of audio cues. So that's good. Still no map usage, I will say. It's especially important, I think, to be using the map as a tri-slosher, because part of what you're doing when you open the map is figuring out where can I go that I will be able to lay an ambush for somebody on the other team. Like, is somebody on the other team heading toward me? If not, my position is not giving me any advantages. If they are heading toward me and I can, waylay them if I know where they're coming, now I've got a chance of actually getting a pick. So I definitely want to see a lot more map usage mid-game here. I've got a couple of power clams. If I'm a backliner at X rank, I noticed that burst bomb. So I'm very scared about that run there. Looks like they didn't notice. Okay, they is that a shot? Yeah, that was a shot. Okay. So yeah, everything I said there, E-Leader was in fact aware of it. They were watching. They took the shot. Now your team is down 1. Okay, nice. Using the map here. I would want to use the map in like a position like this as well. Because for one thing, you can't see Jack on the entire left-hand side of your screen. For another thing, there could be someone behind this wall that you can't see. You're also just safer here than you are in most places on the map. Like, they don't have very many sightlines on you. They probably don't know you're here. So this would also be a good time to be, updating, okay, here's where everyone was when I spawned. Are they still there? Where are they going from there? Kind of get a point A, point B kind of read on where everyone's moving. Okay, if I'm the E-Leader in a certain position, I might have seen that burst bomb. Okay, there are a couple over here. Literally right now, jump, slosh. This guy is donezo, 100%, nothing his team can do about it. It looks like you kind of are about to run off the ledge here, and you change your mind midway, and at this point, your aim is off. And the thing is, you keep swinging. This is walk and shoot syndrome. If I'm a splatter shot and I miss a couple shots here, I can get away with that. But as the tri-slosher, your sloshes are slow enough that if you're missing, you need to just get to a place where you're not missing before you start shooting again. Because this squiffer can literally just snap to you and splat you right now, which is exactly what they do. No, actually, it's what the E-Leader does. This E-Leader's doing a pretty good job here. But even if that was a 1v1, the squiffer still probably should have won at that point after you'd missed that many shots. So if you miss even one, reposition. Don't keep swinging there and hoping that they run back into your shots or something. Even the fact that you hit that second slosh, against an X-rank player, they probably would have moved so that you didn't even get that hit on them. All right, let's see how this finishes up. We've got 3 power clams. This is a massive mistake on their part. Under no circumstances should you ever have 3 power clams in a clam blitz game. I guess unless you've wiped them, even then you might as well just throw individual clams and get more points. There's basically no tactical advantage to having this. So what this means is you've basically got echolocator. You have just landed a permanent point sensor on the rest of their team. It's not even going to go away until the clams go away. So, y'all can just rush them. You know more than they do right now. That's an advantage. This is a fight that you want to take. Now, granted, there's an inkjet in the air, so watch out for that, I guess. But, this run right here, absolutely doomed to fail. There is no way that comes through. No way that comes through unless they shred the baller. So in my Clam Blitz video, I talk about how you should play baller with Clam Blitz pushes. I don't have the audio cues on, but you probably knew that they were that they had the baller here. The problem with shredding the baller there is that they can't throw that clam while they're in the baller. So you actually kind of want them to be that way. At this point, they've already gone far enough forward that if a teammate were going to jump, they would have jumped by now. So you don't really need to worry about them getting super jumps to the baskets, even though they're probably spamming this way or something. But if you shred the baller here, they can just throw it right away. If the baller explodes, though, the ball pops off of them, out of their possession, and they have to go back and pick it up. And at that point, you can splat them, and there's no way they get to that ball in time as long as you've got even half decent aim, especially with a teammate there. You can beat them solo at that, but like with a teammate there, it's donezo. No way that they do it. So the only reason to shred this here is if you're really worried that this guy is going to super jump, and even then, does your teammate have a bomb? Probably not. I don't think they have a bomb they can throw at the jump. So yeah, that would be a concern, I guess. And that might be a reason to shred it. But like, they're clearly occupied in mid. You look over here and they're down. The fact that they hadn't jumped already should probably clue you in that they were under duress. So just don't shred that baller, and they don't even get a single power clam in. Nevertheless, team cleans up completely. You're able to take everybody out. You saw that E-Leader watching you and even adjusting his aim to this direction as you came around. You also know that you've splatted them once from this position. You should anticipate that this E-Leader knows you're here. Yeah, they're moving away. Wow, they didn't get away from that. That's wild to me. If there's one thing I would say about this E-Leader, it's that they're tunneling really hard on some of their shots. There are definitely times where they need to just abandon ship a little bit faster. The teammate they had also probably could have taken you out here. They end up taking you out, as it turns out. So I would say that push onto their plat. Let's like look at the risk reward here for a second. So your team has like 13 clams here. That's not necessarily a power clam. Like you can see one person has 7, so you need at least enough time for them to receive 3 clams from somebody else who might not be near them right now. So this is a little bit early to be trying to push onto their plat. If you're going to push here, I would definitely be painting up the left-hand side and looking over here, because you've been jumped from this direction before. You want to make sure that it's safe, and also this will just make it so that when you do get people across with clams, they're going to have a safer place to retreat to. Because like right there, you see that bomb, and so you gotta go. That squiffer probably should splat you. And then somebody is able to take you out on the left. I just didn't see anybody over there. Okay. So now you guys are 2 down. Because I think that push was a little bit premature. And so because you get picked, even if you do trade, that's going to slow down their momentum a little bit. Okay, so I'm not sure if popping the rail is really going to help you at this point because they're not pushing that far ahead yet. The rail is probably going to run out pretty soon anyway. And so much of mid is painted green that nobody's probably there yet. Okay, good patience. Not just hopping over the ledge and getting hit by a bomb. At this point, I wouldn't be this close to this teammate because if, like, the squiffer happens to see one of you and takes a shot, he hits both of you. Like, I like that you're working with them. Just try to stay a little bit further away to avoid collaterals. Good pressure on that guy, and good job not overcommitting to going for it. So you are probably being watched here. You're out of ink and you keep swinging it. Okay, there you go. Meantime, though, your teammates are able to just get the score in. Right now, you've got 3 clams. It's 11 points left. I wouldn't be painting mid here for 2 reasons. One, you're about to push the basket anyway. That's a thing that you're about to do. Like, I just remember from having watched it. So if you're going to push the basket, don't make yourself known. This is really, really visible out in mid. If the E-Leader's watching, if the Squiffer's watching, both of which could be watching, you know, they could see you coming before you even hit the bridge. So if you're going to push the basket, like, swim through the ink and push the basket right now. Okay, so you're going for the armor. The armor isn't going to save you against 3 people. I say that, and they just miss all of their shots, and you walk in like R2-D2 and see 3PO at the beginning of episode 4. But that probably shouldn't have worked. If you were going to go for those 3 clams, I would say try to just kind of go for it at that point. Surprised that worked. But overall, you know, it works out for sure. The only person who it seemed like was really threatening you too much was that E-Leader, and maybe when you weren't looking left. But I definitely want to see you looking at the map more and using more awareness, exercising more awareness, like giving yourself camera angles where you can see things. Because you're going to be hiding behind a lot of cover. That's just something you're going to be doing as the Tri-Slosher, but that doesn't mean that you have to just deny yourself the ability to see. I would like to be seeing you using more of an awareness of your opponent's positions to determine where you're going to go. All right. So that's going to do it for Joshzilla here. And now we're going to move to Jimmy Duke. And
Who
Jimmy Duke
is also in the waiting room.
Jimmy Duke is now here.
Hello.
Hello, Jimmy Duke. All right. So this is going to be our second match of Tower Sturgeon that we played. Jimmy, that's, why is that the thing that's doing? That's weird. Huh. So if I've clicked on play, the space bar will pause and unpause, but when I haven't, it'll click on like exit full screen. Maybe it's like just execute the last command they did? I don't know.
So, wait, should I open up the stream because I had it closed?
I should stream this to you so that you can see what I'm saying in real time.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. So now you should be able to see it.
Yeah, there I am, Gary. There I am.
All right. Awesome. So we got Jimmy on the CDS here. Longest ranged weapon on his team. And you are going to be up against a Hydra. And the story of this game, and in case you couldn't tell from reading the chat or being a part of the game,
they're very dangerous if
is
good
that
at it.
Well, yes, Devi is very good at the game, and really there's some very specific counterplay that your team needed to be doing to get Devi out of a position where she had power, and that wasn't really happening too much. So let's think for a second. Okay, they've got a Hydra. What are the tools that we have to deal with it? Well, the Hydra is a very slow weapon, both in terms of movement speed, but more importantly in terms of when it can fire. Since it has to charge, if you're able to force it to lose its charge...
Like, if you're up close and it doesn't have a charge, you've basically got it.
Maybe. It charges very fast, so really... Yeah. The cycle that you're looking for isn't necessarily it's out of charge, because what Devi's going to do is charge enough for 4 shots and then take those 4 shots. And in theory, that still splats very quickly. It's kind of the same thing a Nautilus can do. What you're really trying to do with the Hydra is force it to be moving. And while it's moving away, you know it doesn't have charge, and it's going to have to stop and start getting charge again. Yeah. So, like, if you're hiding behind cover and the Hydra runs out of charge, you can't just, like, pop out from behind cover and expect to be able to splat it right away. You really need to get it out of its position. You need to force it away so that it's running and you're shooting at it while it's running. So, tools that your team has to do that. Bombs. Lots of bombs. Like, this is actually a really good bomb comp. The only bomb you have that's not lethal is the Kensa machine. Airsign, it looks like, is running Double Bomb Junior, which, by the way, there will be a part of the top 500 video on this, but Ham, for example, who was a junior player for Siege, who has Div 1 team, Div X wins, they think that Double Bomb Junior is just straight up not good. That you'd rather be throwing 1 bomb and then painting and using the patches for something else. So that's some food for thought. But for the sake of argument, right now, you've basically got 4 lethal bombs plus a fizzy bomb. Because Airsign can throw 2, Splash has a suction bomb, you have a splat bomb. So if you just pepper the places that Devi wants to be right here with bombs, that's one way to get her out of position. Another thing that you have that's really, really good for this that I love to use against backline players is missiles. So whenever Splash fires missiles, basically every time, unless Devi's already splatted, they should be using them on Devi to displace Devi, prevent her from being a factor in the next fight. And whenever you see those missiles going off as Splash's teammates, you want to be rushing in to use those missiles during the very short window that they have an impact on the game. Lastly, if you were to put rain over the top here, that would make things definitely more difficult for Devi. It's a lot softer of a threat because it takes so much longer to splat. So maybe she might be able to finish her shots and then swim out of it, but it's definitely still something that she has to pay attention to. So those are a lot of
scary thing under the rain where you can know if you spend too long, you're a goner.
Right. So it is a zoning threat for sure. So those are the tools that you really want to be using to get her out of position. Fizzy bombs, in theory, would be great. They're a really huge pain. In practice, it's probably really hard to, hit someone who's standing right here with every hit of a fizzy bomb. So Devi might have good enough cover that that's not as big of a deal for her. But let's look at how this plays out. So we move over to you. The rest of your team is up here on the right. Painting up isn't necessarily a bad idea. Like if you're gonna try and farm for rain.
I was mainly focusing on my special.
Yeah, having a rain before this fight isn't a bad plan. If that's what you're gonna do, then usually what you see the support player do is actually go off away from their team, paint up, pop the special, and then rush in with their team. So you might like go over to the left and paint this a bunch. You have the range and the zoning potential that if someone's pushing you on the left, you can kind of just roll backwards and back up and retreat. And this will give you a lot of ability to paint on the left-hand side. You either want to do that, take the left side approach, or you want to go out with your team. Being stuck back here behind the rest of your team, you're not there with them during the fight, and you also don't have the special to help them in the fight. So you kind of want to commit to one or the other.
So what's nice about duelies is that if I'm ever in danger, instead of like with the normal weapon, I have to shoot and then use their normal speed to get out of there. I can dodge roll.
Yeah, that is definitely a huge advantage, especially for this weapon, which gets jump tech. I don't know if you know jump tech or if you've seen my video on jump tech.
What's jump tech? I haven't seen the video.
So I'll link you to that video. There are a lot of different mechanics that I have to explain before you'll understand what exactly jump tech is. But basically, it's a way to jump and shoot while having perfect accuracy while you're jumping and be able to just kind of roll continuously backwards. It's really, really strong for kiting. And if you're planning on getting serious with the custom dually squelchers, I'd highly recommend you learn that technique. So I'll make sure you get a link to that video after this is done. But we'll focus on other things like positioning right now and some other stuff. One very minor note, but something that will add up over time. I backed way too far up. Okay, so we'll go from right here. When you paint right here and as you move across from left to right, you're not hitting very much of the map with your paints. You have really long range. Shoot out at eye level rather than shooting like right at your feet right here. Shoot out in this direction, and then it'll not only paint this spot, but it'll also paint all of this, and it'll paint all of this when you shoot over in that direction. That'll get you.
Part of it falls down.
So that'll give you your special faster. It'll make it so that you don't have to stop and paint again as quickly because you've just got a longer line out in front of you. It'll get you special a lot faster. Like that right there, that's less than NZAP range. Like an NZAP could paint a wider arc than that, and you have the CDS. You could be painting all the way in pit right now if you were aiming a little higher.
Okay.
Jumping up here is really, really risky, especially because they have a backliner up here. Now, I don't have a lot of information about where Devi is, but that's kind of the point. Like, if you don't know where Devi is, be afraid. This might be Devi right here.
The worst.
I think we can actually... There are some weird ways on this map that you can actually see people, specifically through these tanks and through this wall right here. There are some slats where you can see people through. And Devi might be right there behind there getting charged. It's hard to say. Yeah, I think... Words, get out of the way. Yeah, I think Devi was there. I think we saw her there. So... What you did there is relatively safe just because she's there, but you don't know that. If you jump up here and Devi's right here, you're dead.
I was just focused on the towers. Like, if nobody's on the tower whenever it's like out in the open, like I think that could be the worst. Although I need to wait until the perfect time to push when we have like 2 more than you do, so that we can do 2v1 as your like videos say.
Right. Yeah. Right now, the tower isn't something that you should be too worried about. If one of them gets on the tower, oh no, they pushed to 96. Whatever will we do? You know, that it's not a huge deal if they start pushing the tower right now, because they're just putting themselves at a disadvantage for a fight if they get on the tower right now. So you don't really need to worry about getting the tower yet. What you need to worry about is not getting picked, first and foremost, figuring out where the Hydra is so that you can get them out of play. And then once they're out of play, you probably have enough of an advantage that you can fight one of their teammates, get a pick, and start snowballing from there.
Hydra's the scariest part of their team.
Well, it's the longest range part of their team, you know?
Yeah.
And any member of theirs could be cracked, and, like, you don't know that. But you need to be worried about this before you need to worry about anyone else. That's one way to think about it. Because, you know, if they're longer range and they go out at the same speed of their teammates, they're the first people who can shoot you. You are going to push further into their range before their teammates are going to be able to shoot you. That's another way to think about it. So this right here, this position you've taken, against Chargers, this is literally their favorite thing for the enemy team to do, because it's a pretty easy shot. You have no cover unless you drop back down. So as soon as you go up over the top, they're going to be able to take that shot. Against the Hydra, it's almost the same concept. It's just she's going to take a little bit longer to get that splat. Maybe if she misses a few shots, you get away with it. The other thing about this, though, is that think about like who you would be coming up here to splat. This guy, if you're pushing this far up, they have range on you. You know, they're going to be. I think this is the K shot right here.
That looks to be the junior.
Oh no, it's the brush. They don't have a junior. You have a junior.
Oh, it's the brush. Oh wait, we have the junior.
Right. So any weapon on their team right now has the range to hit you if you're right here and they're right there. Being up on here doesn't actually really give you a good height advantage over anybody. It's not really like helping you win fights, and it's also exposing you a lot more. So going up here is something you do if like you're a really short range weapon and you're trying to rush really quickly over the top before anyone sees you or before anyone can do anything about it. Or it's something that you do if the entire area is cleared out and you're going for the tower. Otherwise, sit behind here, use this for cover, and maybe peek out on the left-hand side a little bit more so that you can see around this cover, and you can shoot them before they can, you know, get around cover and start shooting you.
Yeah.
So you do get away with that. You get your aim on faster than Avery does. Avery probably can win that fight. It's really close. You take a lot of damage, and if Devi sees you here, she can still clean it up and finish you off. So you've got one pick now, and you rush into mid, and again, same issue.
That looks bad.
Same issue with being like up here as being up here. You're more exposed. You're not really getting an advantage in a fight over very many positions on the map. Like, okay, maybe if someone's like right here, this isn't a bad spot to be shooting them from. But otherwise, every other position they could be at, this isn't helping you shoot them better. And you're also advancing into enemy ink. So Tanya is able to just take you out and level that with a trade. So now it's 3v3. Let's see what happens.
And then whenever I get splatted, I check the map. I also check the map.
Yeah, the spectate cam won't show when Jimmy checks the map.
If you're looking at the map or not.
So it seems like they probably are checking the map here, and they're just figuring some stuff out. But okay, so they're at a disadvantage right now in a pretty significant way. They've got 2 members down, and there are 2 members of the other team that have specials. So you can maybe poke a little bit, but you're not really going to have a lot you can do from here. There's an inkjet up here right now, so I would not be exposing myself over the top here at all. I'd be kind of waiting that out, letting them just waste it. Yeah, the tower's moving. Yeah, they're going to get lead, but again, it's like, oh no, you've made it closer to the first checkpoint. It's not important yet.
It's only really important if they've broken through a checkpoint, and we haven't.
And even then, you know, part of, you know, being disciplined and not initiating the feed stagger loop is just being willing to give up a checkpoint if it means that you're going to be able to actually stop them afterward. One thing you could be doing right now is sitting on the back of this wall and figuring out where Devi is. And my first guess with a backliner is that they're going to be on tower. That's, you know, probably where they are half the time. And it's the easiest guess to make. So see if Devi's on tower. And if she is on tower, there is absolutely nothing you can do from this position. Because she can hit you up here and you can't hit her. The most you can maybe do is throw a bomb at her and then, you know, drop back over this ledge before she can do anything about it.
So then she'll probably just run off of the tower and then get back on.
Right, and that might be worthwhile to stall for that long, because in the time that it takes her to drop off the tower and get back on, your teammates are closer to respawning, they're closer to getting specials. That might actually be worthwhile, but I wouldn't try that while there's also an inkjet looking at me, because Devi's probably going to get at least a couple shots off on me before I can get that bomb thrown and dropped back down. If I get hit with even an indirect from this inkjet, it's probably curtains. So from here, you actually roll forward and try to engage the tower, and you can even see your shots are landing on the front half of the tower, but you're not in range to hit Devi. So from here, you're very exposed. You have no retreat because she can just shoot behind you and paint your feet. If the inkjet pays attention to you, they can take shots at you. You're just dead from this position. So your team's down a member now, and so they're probably going to get this checkpoint. It's good. Someone was able to take Devi out, but they still have enough teammates that they can probably still do this. Yeah. From here, they might consider backing off and trying to regroup a little bit, or they could just go in. This is a little bit hairy for you. Let's see. Where do we see this person? So the first thing, I'm worried that there's someone maybe sharking here. You know, you haven't seen that recently. Even if there's not someone sharking there, if someone decides to rush you from here, remember, your weapon doesn't splat extremely quickly. So you need to be, like, ready if they do try to push this way. So what I would do is I would paint from about here over before I drop down, so that way, if they're going to advance on me, I'm going to have plenty of warning, and I'm going to have time to roll backwards and kite them to stay at my max range so that they can't hit me.
Yeah.
Because, okay, someone pops up here. So here's where you know that they're there. Instead of pushing forward, now you already need to be rolling back. Right. You do get away with it, but that's...
use my dodge roll to activate turret mode.
Exactly. That'll help you splat them faster. It'll also get you out of their range. They actually probably had enough shots that they could have splatted you if they hadn't missed. So that was really close. But you're able to get away with it. Okay, and you're rolling backwards. This is good. In that situation, you might need to, like, swim backwards and then roll, because rolling backwards once still isn't going to get you far enough away, and Avery is able to actually clean that up. Something else you could have done, seeing that they were facing to the right, is maybe swim behind them, so that they're forced to do a 180, and you have a teammate here who could probably be shooting at them while they're trying to aim at you. You do have the advantage in this fight in that, so after this happens, so you know you've got a teammate right behind you just now because you just saw them. So you back up, you see that they've thrown a bomb, so you know that they're focusing on this fight right now. If you can just kind of keep Avery's attention, then they can get the shots on them, and you don't even need to worry about hitting those shots. You just need to worry about staying alive. Also, if Avery isn't shooting at you, if they are turning to shoot at air sign, that's when you can kind of aim at them and take them out. You end up being able to collapse on that. Sometimes, you know, a brush just gets too close to you and there's nothing that you can do about it. But that's kind of what I'm thinking so that you get the best outcome possible, at least. All right. So we're still defending at first checkpoint here. We're going to try and get up over the top. Ooh, there's a lot of enemy paint. There's someone shooting from the left. You can probably anticipate someone's going to be shooting from the middle. This is really risky.
Ink mine.
There's an ink mine, and also you're on top of a teammate. So what could happen here is a single bomb could land right on top of you guys, and you could get collateraled by that. The ink mine is going to reveal both of you, and you both end up going down, and that's exactly what happens there. So what to do in that situation? Well, let's back up for a second. So from here, you've got several teammates in this direction. You've already got someone shooting up in this direction. So rather than taking the same position as them, what you could do is maybe go up this wall and fire from the grate. Maybe try and peek out. What you could also do is drop down from the grate forward and end up on spinner over to the right. And if you'd ended up on over to the right here, that might give you an opportunity to like swim up the side here and get right at Devi or something like that. And meanwhile, you know, Cookie Dough would still be able to help you because you're over here and she's over here, but you're not in so close to each other that like the same ink mine is going to hit you or something like that. Because you notice as soon as that ink mine goes off, Devi's shots immediately lean over here because she knows where both of you are, and the Hydra just splats faster than almost any other weapon in the game. Okay, so these... Ooh, I think Splash didn't notice that the rest of the team was down, because these missiles are not going to help at all, basically. This might stall the tower a little bit, but those would be a lot better used once the rest of the team is actually there to defend. So you can see, okay, yeah. So you see how the tower stops for like a second and a half and then just kind of keeps going. So here's where the missiles land.
And then got back on.
They got off. They get back on really, really quickly. So those missiles don't really end up having much of an impact. And unfortunately, a teammate also goes down. They've got an inkjet inside your base here. At this point, I'm running to the left because this guy got taken out already, and the inkjet is looking at me. Whew. Okay. Avery probably did have a chance to direct you there. I think they missed in this direction here, but that's an inkjet shot that certainly could hit you.
Yeah.
All right, and then Devi at that point is in a like 1v3, so she finally goes down, but is able to keep it alive until 29. Looks like there was someone over there on the right that your teammates went after. You don't have to be riding the tower right now, because if you just get on top of it and then jump off, it will automatically move back to mid.
Yeah, because if nobody's controlling it, it just goes back to its initial position.
So it would be faster for you and probably better strategically to get off the tower and run forward and paint all of this up so that you get to this faster and you get mid control faster. And you're probably going to get more of an opportunity to get special. Also from here, you know, some of your shots are hitting this pole. Some of them are kind of hitting the wall here. You don't end up actually getting a lot of points of special because you're trying to fire from this tower in this awkward position. And also, since you don't paint as much of the map, this person's able to just kind of swim right up to you and get the trade. So, for a number of reasons, I think your painting pattern is something that I would definitely focus on, because this weapon can paint a lot, and right now you're mostly just painting like directly in front of you instead of focusing as much on the map.
I'm treating it like a junior, going like right up close.
Kind of, yeah. Like you're giving yourself a junior's range. You want to kind of aim a little bit more up and out, and find like the straightest lines, the longest lines of ink that you can lay down, and lay those down consistently. So like, if you're right here, this is good overhead view to use. If you're down here, then like you can shoot out in this direction at max range, and then paint, 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 do that kind of thing. And that's going to get you a lot more special and a lot more map control, and also keep you safer than if you ride the tower all the way around. So this jump is really scary because there's enemy ink coming down in this direction, I think even as you're jumping. From here, your teammates are scattering and somebody has already shot in this direction. So you know that these people are looking for your teammates right here already. So I'm already thinking Devi could be there, but as soon as she pops out here, you fire a couple shots, I would roll back into the pit. I don't think you get around this side fast enough to get cover from Devi. You need to just be getting behind cover as fast as humanly possible, because this is going to happen when Devi's there in play.
If you're getting shot at, the best thing to do is just, whatever you do, dodge so that you're out of the line of fire so that you can, as you say in your videos.
Absolutely. Okay, so we did see someone as we were super jumping here. We'll take a look in just a second. Right there. you can see this person coming towards mid. So if I'm going to head towards the tower, this person is my top priority to like know where they are and know what they're doing. And there they come up out of your peripheral vision. If you're looking over there a little bit more, you might see that, but really the best place to take a look for that is when you're super jumping in.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like somebody else's bomb got thrown past you. I think it was probably... Yeah, air sign is behind you, and so it looks like they throw a bomb here. So these shots you're taking, they're behind cover. You should probably anticipate that they're just going to run backwards using the tower for cover and retreat. Repeatedly shooting from here... Well, that was wild. Repeatedly shooting from here, you're making your position known the whole time because they can look at that line of fire and know exactly where you're standing. And you're making it clear that you're not moving either. So if there isn't a bomb from a teammate here helping you out, Avery might actually be able to, you know, hop up over the tower on the right side and surprise you over here. You're staying kind of in range of them. So this is a dangerous play, but it ends up working out. You're getting on tower. You do have one down, but another thing to think about is, have I displaced the Hydra? Are they out of the way or anything? They're not. In fact, they are probably paying more attention over here because they just noticed their teammates. Ouch. So, okay, good job. You do retreat successfully from that one. So, seeing that we're kind of stalled on the right-hand side here, one thing I might be considering is, since I'm a longer range weapon, and since I have a splat bomb, maybe try going around on the left. And while Devi is looking right, you throw a bomb up over on the bridge that she's standing on and kind of make her life a little bit more difficult. That might give your teammates a chance to get the tower actually pushed through this checkpoint. Because from right here, you know, as soon as the tower gets to about here, Devi can splat literally anybody who's trying to push from the right side. It's a really powerful position for her. So it looks like you throw the rain out here. With rain, I like to see people throwing it out a little further away from themselves unless they actually need it to cover their exact position. Like if you want this on top of Devi, you can throw this like out and make it land right here, and then it's going to like start more immediately from right here. Devi doesn't have as much warning about where that's coming from, and it's going to spend more time painting more enemy ink. Because from there, Devi was able to just kind of duck over to the side and avoid it. If it had been on top of her already painting her feet, that might buy you more time than it did.
And it might have broken the armor.
Mm-hmm, that too. All right, so now your team is definitely staggered. Looks like you're still jumping in from the right. The team has really been trying to hammer it in on the right side, and again, probably need someone to be flanking because they're just kind of expecting this at this point. And this one isn't even Devi's doing at all. This is just a really nice play from Tanya here. All right, so I'm assuming we're checking map here.
Yes.
That little speck of ink, less important than the ink out in front of you because you're going to get more special charge from painting this, and also it's more important tactically. So I wouldn't worry about little blemishes in your team's paint here. Like you stop for this right here. That's maybe 1p. So I would focus more on this stuff down here that you're actually going to need. Okay, so we hop up over the edge. You're careful about the baller. I probably wouldn't have even poked my head over the ledge in the first place, so the baller didn't know I was here. And maybe it just kind of explodes on tower, and then I pop up like, hello there! But now that the baller is exploded, it knows where you are, and so you don't have that element of surprise anymore. Ooh, it looks like something's coming from the right. Is Devi up on your snipe? Oh, man. That's mean. And she just super jumps out, probably to a teammate into mid, probably not even back to spawn. Okay, so Devi just popped armor as well. So, seeing that she just popped armor, granted, you do get one of them down. But, and there again, like, you could be painting all of what you just painted and also painting some of this out here if you're aiming higher. You know that there's something coming from the left. I didn't see teammates there or anything. You should probably expect to get pushed on the left here. or at least be ready to help your team. Because if you just push the tower, they know where you are, they're going to take a defensive position, and your team is over on the left side, and they're not pushing up in front of the tower, so they're not going to be able to help you with this. Devi probably just gets the pick here or forces you away. Yep, there's the pick. So, you know, work with your team. Make sure that you have somebody in front of the tower before you try to push the tower. And make sure you have an answer to Devi before you push the tower. So it's just kind of a scrap in the middle of the map right now, which is very much going to go in their favor. You want like a clean, long push. And again, no attention being paid to Devi. You're not looking to where she is until she starts shooting at you. That's really dangerous. I wouldn't have gotten on the tower here probably at all. You do jump to it, granted, and get away with it. But like, I would just be, as soon as I see there's all this yellow and stuff in front of me, I'm rolling off the backside of the tower. I'm not even dealing with the torpedo. Like this right here, I'm like, Devi could shoot me. The K-Rapid could shoot me. This is a really exposed position, and there's no one out in front of me displacing either of those really strong defensive weapons. So they push in kind of alone. I'm surprised that the Rapid doesn't back them up, but they do end up being able to splat you here. And if you're on the tower, you know, unless you get that checkpoint, it's not really worth it. And at this point, even then, if you get the checkpoint, but you're about to die right afterward, that's probably not worth it, because you need to go so far.
They can easily then take it and end the game.
Mm-hmm. So you need to create a more significant advantage for yourself before you're taking the tower, is definitely one of the lessons to learn from this. And of course, yes, you know, Devi is an X-rank backliner with significant competitive experience. And that was just a beautiful shot from, is this, yeah, Simon? Yeah. Beautiful shot to capitalize on the damage their opponents, or their teammates had already done, and get a collateral on that. But basically, don't push until you have more of an advantage, and part of that advantage needs to be displacing the backliner so they don't just defend the tower. At no point in that entire game did your team have control of the enemy snipe, the area that Devi was standing on the whole time. And so that's why Devi comes away with such a high KA there. Yeah. All right. So do you have any questions for me here?
So like I don't know, it's just, I guess I don't.
It's okay if not. I'm not. You're not required.
I'm having a hard time finding my main. It's like I don't know what I want. I just try multiple things, and it's like I try like Junior. I try Splattershot. And now I'm in like a dually phase. It's like I don't know what I want.
Any of those weapons are great. While we've got a second, I'll kind of give you the Cliff's Notes on jump tech. So, hello. I probably need to reset the capture card because that's framing like crazy. Is it frozen for all of y'all too? Like framing really badly?
Yeah, yes it is.
Okay, that's gross.
Oh, it is, yeah. It's showing the, like, Twitch page.
Okay. I'm going to disconnect the capture card really quickly and reconnect it. I'm hoping I don't have to turn the whole stream off. Should be back in a second. And of course it's not back at all. Let's see if deactivate, reactivate works. Man, what is going on with this right now?
Fries and Elgato.
I might have to restart the stream if I'm going to show that. All right, so we'll skip that explanation in here for now, but I will definitely go and get you a link to that video because it explains it pretty thoroughly how jump tech works and why it's so good. Basically, what I would think about for you is like, what sort of play style do you want to have? Do you want to play a very aggressive, fast-paced weapon that runs and gets in people's faces and splats them? Do you want to play paint support and be like giving a lot of very important specials to your teams to orchestrate pushes? Do you want to be long-range Slayer? Like, what do you think?
I guess I want to just like pop up like right in front of the enemy and then go bang.
Okay.
So I guess that describes Luna Blaster.
So that would describe Luna Blaster, that would describe Tri-Slosher, that would describe Brushes, that would describe a lot of other blasters, but most blasters aren't super viable competitively right this second because armor is such a big deal. But rollers as well, like if you want to run the Carbon Deco like Avery does. So those are kind of the best options for that right now. And I'd say that's really quite the opposite, actually, of how the CDS works. CDS is all about staying at the absolute maximum range and making it so that they can't approach you safely. But it's a very slow time to splat. So if you're trying to play like dualies to be like that kind of ambush weapon, you're looking more for the standard dualies or the tetra dualies.
Or, since I've unlocked it, just the hero dually replicas, because they're just standard, except they look cooler.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to look fresh. Those weapons are not doing super well competitively right now. More people are doing something like the tetra dualies for that sort of a role. But that is definitely, the kind of play style that they have. So that'd be something to check out for sure.
I think regarding modes, like how I should be, like, what kind of weapons should I be prioritizing, like, in each mode?
I wouldn't say change too much of what you play for each mode. More than anything, you're kind of looking for the right special, the right amount of paint, maybe bombs. Like, bombs can be really important, especially in a mode like Rainmaker, so making sure you have a lethal bomb to throw at them is really good. But, like, for example, I'll play K-Shot on almost any mode. It's just that there are some, specialty map modes where I'll prefer a T-Tech or I'll prefer a K-Pro or something, and, like, none of those are that different from each other. It's more that, like, they fit my playstyle, they're a weapon I can play, and, like, for K-Pro, for example, I'm more likely to play that on tower control because Booyah Bomb is so good at shutting down the tower at the end of the game. So, like, I might play something like that or the K-Shot on tower, whereas, like, if I'm playing an Inkjet, probably not going to happen as often on tower control, but I don't know, maybe it's good for, getting the tower through a difficult checkpoint. So I wouldn't say change too much going from mode to mode. Just the only big thing I would say is if you're playing splat zones, make sure your weapon paints a lot. You don't want to be going in there with, like, multiple blasters, because then you're just going to lose the zone, even if you're just painting against them 4v4.
But, like, would, like, a Splattershot Jr. be really good?
Oh, absolutely. Splattershot Jr. is fine on, like, any map mode, because its whole job is just farm armor, throw bombs, maybe get aggressive if the situation calls for it. You can do that anywhere. There's some maps where, like, you can prefer an NZAP because it's more aggressive, but go for it.
Yeah, there's a reason why Splattershot Jr. is your first weapon in the game.
Right. It's very easy to use well, to get good results out of. It paints a lot, so the fact that it doesn't have very good accuracy isn't as much of a problem because that means it paints more.
Because it's just going so fast.
Well, not even that. It's because, like, if your weapon is inaccurate, it's going to paint more because it's going to not go in one single straight line. It's going to go all over the place. And that's exactly what you want if you're trying to charge special really quickly. So that's really my thinking there. But so we can talk more about that sort of thing. But that is going to do it for us for the stream today. Appreciate everybody coming out and being active in chat and all that. We have a Bravous community Discord that I will put a link to in the chat here. So if you would like to get a VOD review like this of your own, just find me on that Discord server and DM me. Also, I'd like to give a plug to a show that's going to be debuting tomorrow. Simon is doing a MOBA show. I know a lot of you guys got into League of Legends, in part because of me. And Simon and Missy, who is the... I believe the team manager for the ASU esports organization's League of Legends team. They are going to be talking about League of Legends and how to improve at that game tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that one because I could use a little bit of a kick in the pants to get better at that game. And I know that I've been getting a lot of you guys into that, so hopefully we'll be able to see a bunch of you there as well. That will be at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, mind you, so the same as Pacific Daylight Time right now. It's Arizona, so we are weird. We don't do daylight savings. But so like this show started at 3 p.m. Arizona time. The MOBA show is going to go from 4 to 6 Arizona time. So I hope to see a bunch of you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, just to give a little bit of a sneak preview, we're going to start off with some VOD reviews of some of my terrible ADC gameplay, and Missy's going to give me some insight on things that she notices from it. And I think I'm going to mostly just be focusing on learning bot lane in general. So we're going to start with bot lane, but we're going to definitely be branching out to other roles. Looking forward to highlighting some educational processes for learning MOBAs.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds fun.
So we'll be on at that time. Hope to see a bunch of you guys there. Meantime, this is Jem signing off from Squid School. Class dismissed.
All right.